be 5 tomorrow.
It's gonna be 5 all week.
5 degrees all week.
I am so sad. I went and bought a Canada Goose jacket, now it's warm.
Enjoy the
Chinook.
Chinook.
Yeah.
I bet you that's not Chinook.
How was that for the weather?
I was perfect.
It seems like it's gonna be good, everybody.
It's all good. Tegan Sara here for an X Music Takeover.
Hi. Did you guys let us take over last time?
Yes.
Wow.
No.
No.
No, we just had to come in, play some songs.
Okay, so we're moving up
Then we
tomorrow.
kick you out. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you get your whole hour now.
All right.
It's all you, whatever you want to talk about. We got people here in the studio, lots of people outside.
They're drinking Slurpees. People here are crazy. Yeah, I just keep expecting people to walk by in shorts and flip-flops.
You live in Vancouver.
I do live in Vancouver, yeah.
That's why.
This is Tegan. Well, yeah, I guess because I know that when the weather improves here in Calgary, it still feels cold to the rest of us, but to the people that live here, it feels really warm right now. But I still have my Canada Goose jacket on because it's kind of cold.
And you, Sarah, live in Montreal.
Yeah, sorta.
Still?
Yeah.
Kind of?
Yeah. I get around.
Sorta?
Yeah.
Are you between Montreal and LA? Or?
No, I do spend some time in Montreal. I have a place there, and then I do spend a ton of time in Vancouver because our band is sort of based out of Vancouver, and you know, I like to spend some time in New York when I can. I'm kind of a traveling hobo these days. I'm single. You know,
What's wrong with that?
I'm kind of like Meatloaf. We've been watching the Meatloaf biop, and that's kind of how I am, you know? Just sort of roll around and just get together with my ex-wife, make babies, fight, sing with a handkerchief in my hand. Like, that's
Sing
how
songs
I roll.
about bats and hell.
Yeah. I mean, I love Meatloaf, but while this movie is really impacting how I feel about him.
Really? In a good or a negative?
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
I don't know, I just wish that first movie hadn't been made about him.
It looks like a TV show, like on like say like it doesn't look like a movie about a really famous singer.
No.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Look at what's
it does look like a very...
He's
If
just
you're at-
can I please just set up what's happening on screen right now?
Yep.
He's doing sit-ups and the camera is watching him do sit-ups and he just keeps going back up and down and then his wife or his daughter, I can't tell which one it is because they all just it's jumping around from decade to decade, is like sitting in I can't even discuss it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Poor Meatloaf, like it's just
But the
jumping.
hair is amazing.
I mean he's remarkably similar. It did take us about 5 minutes to realize that it wasn't some kind of like archival footage being, you know, linked together. This truly is like a made-for-TV movie about Meatloaf.
I thought there might be some live Meatloaf in here.
No.
Like, oh, the bus, look at the bus, come on. There's bats and a hell on the bus. It's very cool. Don't you wish you had a bus like that?
Our buses are pretty rad. We like to go with more of an anonymous vibe. Like we're not rockers from the '80s. We kind of try to roll like we don't like advertise that we're.
You don't have the glammed out Tegan and Sara going down the side.
No.
Or you want to have your own bus with Tegan on one and Sara on the other.
I remember I was kind of almost I was like a little bit apprehensive about getting tour buses back in the day, you know, because in the early part of our career, like late 90s, early 2000s, like people were really into wrapping their buses. So like this is like the industry term for like putting like maybe like a corporation or a sponsor on your bus so that you can afford to have the bus. And Widemouth Mason, I remember they went out and did like they had the condom bus, like they had like the big pink bus that had like the condom brand on the side. And I remember seeing that and being like, we will never do that. That would immediately take the cool factor right out of the bus.
What I would want to wrap our bus with would be something that would be so lo-fi and like no one would know.
What?
Like okay, like I really love this magazine called The Believer magazine, which is done by these great people who like are involved with McSweeney's and Dave Eggers and like all these like really like literature geeks and whatever, and they do like weird comics and it's like
So you want to cover our bus in comics?
basically kinda. I know I'm like suddenly I've become like an 18-year-old boy, but it's whatever. I also sort of sound a little bit like an 18-year-old boy today because my voice is sort of rocking it out last night.
You have a cold, don't you?
I don't know if it's a cold or if it's just exhaust fatigue. Like, and then also I'm not used to Alberta, even though we grew up here. Like I got back here and my skin and lips and my throat just fall off.
My
Like,
lips
it's
are so
dry.
sore, my arms are, like, I got out of the shower this morning and, like, was toweling off and, like, chunks of my skin were coming off. Oh my god, I have to leave before there's nothing but bone left.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Alberta's pretty bad for that.
I love it if you're used to it. I think it's a really amazing thing. But like last night, I really seriously felt like I needed like somebody from the hospital to come and like give me like a water transfusion. Like I felt like completely dry when I got off stage. Like I couldn't even blink. That's how dry I was.
Yeah. Do you get the headaches too? The like migraines and.
Is that? I don't.
Is your head pounding today?
No.
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 Okay.
Is yours? Are you okay?
I'll be alright. There's medications for that.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre. Pretty good stuff.
Go.
So there's people that have been here since 8 a.m. this morning to see you guys, and I'm like, you guys know Tegan Sara can be here till 1:30. They're like, yeah, but we follow them all over the place. Are they in here? Are they
Yeah,
outside?
we're here.
No,
They're
not in here.
And Jamie.
We have a lot of really amazing fans, specifically some of them are in the room tonight. But I mean, I have to say, like, we're really lucky. Every band says the same thing, so this is not anything new. But we really do have a really amazing audience, and you know, over the last 10 years, things have really changed in the industry. You know, bands don't sell as many records, and because they're not selling records, everybody's touring, so it makes touring very competitive because there's so many bands coming through cities and stuff. But we continue to see our career grow and our fan base grow, and I think it's because we do have so many loyal fans. And the traveling around and hanging out and coming early to the shows, we try to reason with them. Like, we guys, come on, especially like the shows where it's like they have their ticket, they don't need to stand in line, it's not a race to the front. But there's a culture, and we understand it because we grew up here in Calgary, and when bands would come to town, it was pretty infrequent that cool bands would come to Calgary. And I remember when Smashing Pumpkins came, we were 15 years old, and we slept in the Marlboro Mall parking lot outside of Sears for 9.5 hours to get tickets with our friends. And my mom slept in the van because she was scared we would get kidnapped or worse. And it was a big deal. And so I understand that culture. I understand this idea that we obviously know firsthand how profound music can be, how much the experience and the connection with the music can be important to someone's life. So we kind of encourage it. In a way, we encourage our diehard fans. Another one of them is outside. We put them in a video on our website. We really encourage it. Basically, at this point, we're facilitating their unhealthiness. I don't know how they have jobs. We constantly talk about how they don't have jobs.
They've seen you, what, 54 and 57 times?
Yeah.
At this point, I should probably just marry one of them because they're really independently well-paid.
Well, what do you guys do for a living?
I'm an engineer.
I'm a lawyer.
Engineer.
Apparently, kids probably want to be in like be an engineer and a lawyer because apparently you get like 9 months off. Don't be a teacher. 3 months isn't enough now. You need 9 months. No, it's really incredible.
Do you get creepy people following you around show to show? Do you get stalkers?
I think it really depends. Like there are certainly people who we get along with better or who I understand. Very diplomatic. Like I mean, there's lots. We meet fans all the time who I think I can be friends with you, or we could like if it was possible to have thousands of friends. Like there's so many people in our audience who are really cool and interesting. Last night we got to our hotel and someone who works in the accounting department at the hotel wrapped me up a really incredible book and was like, knew that I loved books and was so excited we were in the hotel and left me a book, and like I don't think I didn't get a book. I mean, she didn't probably. I got a ginger beer and a bowl of nuts. What does that say about you? But I mean, I think that like sometimes there's this connection where I'm like, wow, like this person thinks like that we've impacted her life, but like in a strange way now, like my life has been impacted because like I really appreciate the gift and the sentiment that she would think that okay, I would really appreciate this Hemingway novel, and I would like that she would leave it for me, and it was just such a kind. Sounds like marrying material. I know. I mean, Tegan, you really got married on the mind, I think. But no, I think most people are pretty cool. But yeah, there's 2 levels of creepy. There's kind of like creepy where you're like, I'm having an awkward conversation with you, and then there's kind of like, I would like to call the police and have them be involved.
Like no effects.
A little, well,
no.
Those guys are a little bit more like, the no effects guys are a little bit more in the like category of like the guys that when you were in high school, they would like do something gross to you and you'd be like, grow up,
Did you know them before the song came out?
Well, I didn't. I mean, we do know them, yeah, and that's why they remind me of those kind of guys you went to high school with, where you're like, oh man, like,
I will try not to come across as that guy.
You don't seem like that guy, no way.
You wanna play?
Sure.
Sing?
Let's get it out of the way. Yeah, we decided we play Hell.
Hell's cool.
If that's okay with everybody.
Is that alright
Everybody
with me?
outside, yeah.
Everyone outside is cool with that?
That's
Hell?
fine.
Alright.